Hello people, I'm Jaby KOAY, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
What's up?
We are looking at India's worst motivational speaker from SLAYY. I hope they're not talking about Jaby KOAY.
I know. I literally thought they were talking about you.
Ain't that just the way it goes?
That was cruel and unusual. Why would you say that?
Because I'm a cruel and unusual person.
So this is obviously from SLAYY. Thanks so much for joining us, you guys. Please do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching while you subscribe and upvoting. Subscribe to SLAYY. There's a link in the description below if you want to click on that link, give the original video an upvote, and subscribe to them from there.
मैं आप अब सब बन सकते हैं मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर।
हाँ तेरे में मोटी पार्ट तो है, बस वेशनल लगाना पार्ट।
Oh my god! Rude! That's right.
बनाने के लिए रास्ते से किसी भी नल्ले को उठा लो। हमें ये सामग्री घर पे ही पड़ी मिल गई, पर कोई भी चलेगा क्योंकि छापने तो गूगल के कोड से है। चश्मा जिससे लगे बहुत किताबें पढ़ता है, भले ही बेन 10 की बहन ताड़ के लगाओ चश्मा। और ब्लेजर जिससे एकदम ही करोड़पति बिजनेसमैन लगो, भले ही बस घर घर जाके दंत कांति बेचता हो। You are ready. सक्सेस की बू आ रही है।
Oh no!
फेयरवेल की पैंट फिट नहीं आई। नहीं यार, कुछ कम लग रहा है।
Hold on. There's only two of them, right? I just want to see something. I'm sorry. This is like a technical thing I got curious about. I want to know who moved the camera.
चश्मा और ब्लेजर जिससे एकदम ही करोड़पति बिजनेसमैन
That's
लगो,
done in
भले ही बस
post.
घर घर
No.
जाके दंत कांति बेचता हो। You are ready. सक्सेस
Okay, she moved the camera.
Yeah.
ओए, मुझे तो मत दिखा।
Because she's saying don't show what's down there as if someone else is shooting. And I was like, oh my god, that was
Oh my
really
god,
neat.
the acting was so good.
Shut up, Cha-Cha. I thought that she had like walked off that way, so I was convinced it was like good movie making.
Oh yeah, good job, SLAYY. You fooled Jaby.
It helps that I have a headache, so.
वो फेयरवेल की पैंट फिट नहीं आई। नहीं यार, कुछ कम लग रहा है। हाँ, अब सब चाट जाएंगे तेरा।
SM7B, baby.
इसकी हरकतें दिवाली के ड्राई फ्रूट जैसी है, ना चाहो तो भी फ्री मिलती रहती है। ये ले हैप्पी दिवाली।
मैंने अभी तुझे दिया है
रिटर्न गिफ्ट। इस देश में जहाँ देखो वहाँ मोटिवेशन। दीवारों पे, ट्रक्स के पीछे का ड्राइवर चलाते चलाते डिप्रेशन में आ जाए, टी शर्ट पे, रोज क्लास के बोर्ड पे,
और दोस्त के पास उधारी लौटाने के पैसे नहीं, पर स्टोरी पे डालेगा #बिलियनर माइंडसेट। हलवे विजय माल्या माइंडसेट। और अब कोई भी मोटिवेशन दे दे, वो भी जिनका धो के भी मम्मी देती है।
Everybody will leave you in your hard times, but not your friends.
What the hell?
क्या हार्ड टाइम? नए इरेजर में किसी ने छेद कर दिया। ये छोटा भीम का स्पॉइलर बता दिया इसने। क्लास 2B के गुंडे आ गए अपने क्लास का डस्टर वापस लेने। नोबिता के शरीर में जियान वाला एटीट्यूड।
और भाई ये जो सुबह जल्दी उठो बैंक।
Wait, was that a real video? That was so random.
It was super random. The kids looked so intense. I'm like, what is that? Okay, children.
They're training for their South Indian action movie.
Yeah, they're training for their intense looks.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, I mean, she's absolutely right. Like, what could be so awful?
What? He was getting bullied.
I know, but okay, fine, whatever. That's pretty bad.
और भाई ये जो सुबह जल्दी उठो बैंक में करोड़ों पाओ ऑफर है, उसके टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस बढ़ते ही जा रहे हैं। पहले था कि 6 बजे उठो, मैं उठा, फिर हुआ 4 बजे उठो, क्योंकि सारे करोड़पति तब उठते हैं।
आपको ये बात तो पता ही होगी कि हर सक्सेसफुल इंसान रोज सुबह जल्दी उठता है, और जल्दी से मतलब सुबह 4 बजे।
हाँ, ये सबकी खिड़की पे बैठते हैं ना टॉर्च लेके चेक करने। अंबानी इन्हीं को कॉल करके हल्का होते हैं हर सुबह, बट अब 4 बजे भी लेट है। सक्सेस के लिए उठो रात के 2:30 बजे।
When do you sleep?
Waking up at 2:30 will change your life. अभी कितना बज रहा है? 3:30. छोड़ो फिर। 2:30 बजे तक सो जा।
23 आवर्स का नैप।
सोना छोड़ दो, ज़ॉम्बी बन जाओ, कॉलेज जाओ भूतनाथ बन के। रात के 2:30 बजे ना योगा पूजा पाठ करने वाले दादाजी भी बोलेंगे सो जा नल्ले बुढ़े, पर ये बस बोलेंगे कि सुबह उठ जाओ। इतनी सुबह उठ के करूंगा क्या? सुबह के रात के 2:30 बजे सुहाना दिन। ऑटो काम पे जाना है, कैसे चल के जाऊं क्या? अरे खोलो, मैं आ गया। अरे मैं बहुत मोटिवेटेड हूँ यार, 2:30 बजे उठ के आ गया। अरे खोलो, 2:30 बज गए, काम करना है।
और बहुत
Okay, I feel like there is something magical about waking up crazy early. When I was working out very, very religiously, I would wake up at like 4:30, 5 a.m. and hit the gym because it was open 24 hours. It was just cool to just get the day going before the rest of the, because most people are not going to wake up at that hour. Most people are sleeping in until 6:30, 7, whatever.
Sleeping in until 6. Wow.
I'm not saying, I don't mean sleeping in like it's a bad thing. I'm just saying like.
No, I'm just saying like even waking up at 6:30 is still pretty early for a lot of us. I know when I went to school, I had to wake up at 5:15 every day just because the traffic was so bad.
There was just something neat about I'm walking out of the gym after an hour and a half of working out and people are just waking up. There's something cool about that and like now I'm going into the day with that energy, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't disagree. I think it is a good idea to try and wake up early. Definitely for me, waking up early means that I can be alone with my thoughts and just be by myself doing whatever I need to do without anyone else like bothering me or asking me for something or anything like that. So I can do what I need to get ready for the day, whether that's working out or like reading a book or something.
I mean, like I get that they're making jokes and it's like he's trying to like go to the shop and get some milk or whatever. Obviously, most things are not open unless you live in LA where, you know, you have 24-hour things everywhere. If you get up early, it allows you the time and the opportunity before all of the responsibilities come into play for you to sort of plan out, you know, what's ahead.
You have more time to work on yourself before you start working for other people.
Exactly. All of this hinges on you being an individual that wants to do more than being an employee somewhere. Like if you're not trying to be more than an employee, like at a, you know, a tech company or something like that, if all you're doing with your life is working at a cubicle or whatever it is, then waking up at that god-awful hour doesn't make any sense. If you're good with what you're doing, there's no need to wake up that early. It's stupid.
Yeah, you wake up that early to work on your goals.
Yeah.
बहुत तरह के लोग करोड़पति है. हनी सिंह, एमीवे बनता है. इनकी आंखों में देखो. कभी लगता है ये उठे 4 बजे फिर भी है ना करोड़पति. रवि शास्त्री, संजय दत्त, करण जौहर, विजय माल्या.
4 बजे तो इनकी पार्टियां शुरू होती है. मूंछों से चकना लटक रहा होता है. जॉनी सिंस, राज कुंद्रा की तो शूटिंग चलती होगी इतने सुबह. उनके तो ये वर्किंग आवर्स है.
और इनका सुबह उठने का लॉजिक ही अजीब है.
सोचो अगर आप उस टाइम पर उठ गए जिस टाइम पर आधी से ज्यादा दुनिया सो रही होती है, तो आप आधी से ज्यादा दुनिया से तो पहले ही आगे आ गए.
जल्दी उठ के बस में आगे की सीट मिल जाने को लाइफ में आगे होना नहीं कहते. जल्दी उठने से आगे होते तो न्यूज़पेपर वाला प्राइवेट जेट से फेंकता अखबार.
अमेरिका दुनिया में सबसे आखिरी में उठता है. उन्हें तो गरीबी में फिर डूब मरना चाहिए था.
तो आप आधी से ज्यादा दुनिया से तो पहले ही आगे आ गए.
लगता है आप जल्दी पैदा हो गए दुनिया में आगे होने के चक्कर में.
I mean, sure, yeah, you're not waking up ahead of the world. It's just ahead of your community.
Time zone.
Yeah, your time zone, your community, the local people that you compete with, I guess.
क्या तुम बहुत थक गए हो? क्या कल रात ठीक से सोए नहीं?
The subtitle, did you see the subtitle?
What does it say?
The subtitle says, yeah, I am.
क्या तुम बहुत थक गए हो? क्या कल रात ठीक से सोए नहीं?
हाँ, हलवो रात के 2:30 बजे जो उठा दिए थे. नाइट ड्यूटी वॉचमैन भी सोया मिला. उसे घर भेज के मैं ड्यूटी पे लग गई. वही एक काम मिला रात को 2:30 बजे.
सुबह जो भी तुमसे पहला बंदा टकराए उसके मुंह से फर्स्ट लाइन यही निकले कि यार तू कितनी बजे उठा था.
हाँ, ऐसी मनुष्य टपकती हुई शक्ल लेके जाऊंगा तो कौन नहीं पूछेगा. 2 बजे उठ के शक्ल पे 2 ब्लैक होल.
उसके मुंह से फर्स्ट लाइन यही निकले कि यार तू कितनी बजे उठा था.
अब मूवी में टाइम कंट्रोल की पावर है डॉक्टर साहब के पास. हाथ से छमक छल्लो करके टाइम कंट्रोल कर लेते हैं. पर रियल वर्ल्ड में पावर मिली है मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर्स को. वर्क 25 आवर्स अ डे टू बिकम सक्सेसफुल. बस मुझे लगा महीने में 35 डेज और साल में 19 मंथ्स काम करो तो ही सक्सेस आएगी. अरे ये तो शॉर्टकट बता दिए. मेंढक की आंख अपनी कोक से पैदा करे एक्स्ट्रा घंटा. एक दिन में 30 घंटे कैसे पड़े? अरे टाइम है कि छाती के बाल जो सबको अलग अलग क्वांटिटी में मिला है.
आप एक ही आंसर में 100 नंबर देना शुरू कर दो. हम भी पढ़ लेंगे एक दिन में 30 घंटा. 24 घंटे में 48 घंटे वाले काम करें.
आज तक यही सुना था कि एक दिन में 24 घंटे होते हैं, लेकिन ये सच नहीं. एक दिन में 24 घंटे नहीं होते.
Science go home, you're drunk.
क्या फायदा? हटाओ इसको.
एक दिन में 24 घंटे नहीं होते. आज तक यही सुना था कि एक दिन में 24 घंटे
Get to it, dude.
लेकिन ये सच नहीं.
ये धरती है वो भी सच नहीं. वीनस पे चले जाते हैं, वहाँ एक दिन में 5830 घंटे वाला काम हो जाएगा. वो देख के मुंह से, आंख से और पता नहीं कहाँ से पानी निकल जाएगा इन मोटिवेशन वालों का. टाइम फिक्स्ड है. टूथपेस्ट की ट्यूब में नहीं मिलता कि निचोड़ के एक्स्ट्रा निकाल लोगे.
ये YouTube के ज्ञानचंद कम से कम जोशीला म्यूजिक तो लगाते हैं, पर ये इंस्टा वालों को इसमें भी रियल ट्रेंड फॉलो करना है.
अरे जो कमाना है अपनी मेहनत से कमाओ, लोगों के तलवे चाट के नहीं. सिर्फ 4 महीने बचे हैं 2023 आने में. कब सीरियस हो रहे हो लाइफ को लेकर?
ऐसे म्यूजिक से तो मैं 7 जन्मों में सीरियस नहीं हो रही.
I do hate that. I do feel very quite incensed by that. I remember when pandemic hit, we were told to stay indoors for like a month or something, right?
Right.
There were people writing on Instagram something to the effect of, if you don't do anything with your life in this month, then, you know, all the things you've been saying why you can't do what you want to do with your life, clearly just excuses. My point being is that it's like we all, I don't know what my point is. I just hate that is the short of it. I just hate that so much. We are all different people. This attitude of like, when are you going to get serious? It's like, fuck off, guy. Like,
well, even his face. I'm sorry. Oh no. I'm so sorry. But like just the way that he was looking at
his
me.
expression.
His expression. Yeah, I didn't mean his face. He has a lovely face. But his expression, the way he's looking at me through the camera, I'm like, stop that. Why are you judging me?
Yeah.
Go away. I didn't ask you. Just leave. I don't like you.
जो थोड़ी सीरियसनेस बची भी थी वो मेरे ठुमके में निकल गई.
तुम लोग भी थोड़ा हमें मोटिवेट कर दो सब्सक्राइब का बटन दबा के.
और इनकी एक गंदी आदत है, जो सामने दिख जाए उससे मोटिवेशन उठा लेंगे. किचन में गए तो
Be like salt, my friend. Be like salt.
सॉल्ट की बात कर रहे हैं, खुद चाट मसाला वाले एक्सप्रेशन.
Yeah, what is it?
Be
What
like
is up
salt.
with his expressions?
जिसके होने से लोगों
Why
को
don't you
कुछ
just be
खास फर्क
yourself?
ना पड़े, लेकिन जिसके ना होने से लोगों को बहुत फर्क पड़े.
मतलब मर जाओ तो ही फर्क पड़ेगा. तो फिर अभी क्या फायदा? अभी तो फिर भी नहीं पड़ रहा ना फर्क.
जिसके होने से लोगों को कुछ खास फर्क ना पड़े.
मैं क्यों बनूं सॉल्ट फिर?
Be like गुटका my friend.
you know, okay, as aggravating as I find his cadence and his mannerisms and all that stuff. His expressions, yeah. He's so full of himself, right?
Yes, that's it. I just feel like he's so pretentious.
Yes. However, the weird thing is, those people do succeed. The people who are full of themselves end up succeeding quite a bit, and it's so aggravating.
It is aggravating, yes.
Yeah, but like, it's strange, but like, if you're a little bit full of yourself, your chances of success are probably a little bit higher.
The reason why is because a lot of these people who are full of themselves have a lot of confidence, and confidence will get you quite far.
Yeah.
Because you think that what you're saying is worthwhile, and therefore when you...
Even if it's not.
Even if it's not.
Yeah.
And so when you put that attitude out there, a lot of people are gonna start feeling like, oh, maybe what you're saying is worthwhile. And because you believe that you deserve to be somewhere and have certain things, you will get those things eventually, probably because you believe in it.
Be like गुटका. हर जगह अपनी छाप छोड़ जाओ.
Motivation.
कभी पिज्जा मंगा लिया तो
ये पिज्जा भी कितनी कमाल की चीज है ना.
कैसे?
आता है एक स्क्वायर बॉक्स में, होता गोल है, और जब आप इसका एक पीस निकाल के खाते हो एक ट्रायंगल होता है. जिंदगी में अक्सर आपको बहुत से ऐसे लोग मिलेंगे, होंगे कुछ और, दिखेगा कुछ और.
अरे मत खाओ इतनी पकलोली.
I don't even understand what he's talking about.
ठंडा कर दिया.
होता गोल है,
दिखता गोल, होता ट्रायंगल.
It's just like a pizza, so many things.
देख लेना बाथरूम में. कंप्लीट कर लो अपने ज्योमेट्री का चैप्टर. ऐसे ऐसे शेप दिखाऊंगा ना.
ये पता है दुनिया की सबसे एक्सपेंसिव लिक्विड कौन सी? एक इंसान के आंसू. इसके अंदर सिर्फ 1% पानी होता है और 99% फीलिंग्स. इसलिए किसी को हर्ट करने से पहले 100 बार सोच लेना.
Go away.
खुद ने तो एक बार नहीं सोचा.
What the hell happened
हमारे
to
कान
him?
हर्ट करने से पहले.
इसके अंदर सिर्फ 1% पानी होता है और 99% फीलिंग्स.
और ये 100% खून आ गया.
एक इंसान के आंसू.
देश के साइंटिस्ट ने अपने डिग्रियों पे सुतली बॉम्ब फोड़ दिया ये सुन के. एलियंस तक गए थी. अब वो 100 बार सोचेंगे धरती पे आने से पहले.
Who is this person?
फ्लो में ये ऐसे भागते हैं कि इनके पॉकेट से लॉजिक ही गिर जाता है.
अगर किसी काम को करने का बेस्ट टाइम कभी था ना, तो वो कल था.
तो रहने दो फिर, बंद कर दे. सो जाता हूँ. बेबी, सुहागरात का टाइम हो गया.
अगर किसी काम को करने का बेस्ट टाइम कभी था ना, तो वो कल था.
गुड नाइट.
डिवोर्स.
What just happened?
बोलते हैं सक्सेस का.
What? I don't understand.
He wouldn't consummate the marriage since she said divorce.
Oh, because I was just really caught up in the whole, like, the best time to work or the best time to do something is yesterday. My logic went, okay, then I just won't work.
No. No.
Because I was supposed to do it yesterday.
No.
I guess I'll just take naps for the rest of my life.
The idea is that you're already late, so you better get going. That's the idea.
Well, it did reverse motivation for me because I saw that and I was like, why should I even try at this point?
It's obviously not going to work on you, but there are people where it'll work on them. It obviously made the rounds enough that SLAYPoint's making fun of it. So it's working for somebody.
Clearly because it's stupid.
I don't think the principle is inherently stupid. I just think that these bite-sized things are kind of dumb for the most part. I mean, it's no different than the live, laugh, love sort of rhetoric that you see on these posters that LA ladies like to pass around and put on their fucking walls. It's the same kind of thing. It's just the male version of it, and it's just as aggravating.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I do read a lot of these motivational quotes myself, but I thought that one was particularly dumb.
I guess maybe I don't think it's dumb because I will tell you things sometimes like, ACHARA, I need this yesterday. Just to light a fire under your ass to make you do it faster.
I think I should just start saying, oh, you needed it yesterday. Okay, well, I'll just stop because you don't need it today.
You're deliberately being dumb. You're just deliberately being obnoxious.
Yeah, that's right.
कोई formula नहीं होता और फिर
If you increase number of failures, your chance of success increases. Number of failures is directly proportional to chance of success.
तो मैं जानबूझ के फेल हो जाऊं.
I mean, he's not wrong.
शीट पे पिछवाड़ा ड्रॉ करके सबमिट
If you're deliberately trying, okay, see what's missing from that, all of these need to be broken down. What's missing from that, you're not going out of your way to fail. You're just going forward and not being afraid of failure.
Exactly.
Because those failures do eventually lead to success. But the way he worded it sounded like, oh, just go out and fail on purpose. It's like, no.
No, just stop being afraid of failure because you're gonna fail anyway before you achieve success.
Exactly.
सक्सेस आती ही होगी.
सट्टे में रोज बाप का पैसा हारता हूँ ताकि बाद में लाइफ में जीत सकूं.
Increase number of failures.
और ये आपके 1 लीटर के दिमाग में 6 लीटर मोटिवेशन टूल्स देंगे.
30 short ways to win in life. Wake up early, read daily, plan daily, spend wisely, judge less, fail fast, build a brand, invest hard, love yourself, be yourself, eat well, learn skills, be ambitious, start goal setting, find inspiration, practice meditation, help others, work on daily interaction, be positive, have a journal, have a purpose, have a mentor, think big, be productive, do more. Forget all of them.
लगा जैसे मेरी कमियों का रोल.
You know
that
what?
gave me anxiety.
You know what though? Of all the ones that we've seen so far, that one to me was actually the most effective. It wasn't like being underscored by like music and shit. It wasn't like this stupid facade of machismo or anything like that. It's literally just him espousing this stuff very passionately. And everything he was saying, I was thinking about it as he was saying it. I'm like, all that, tracks. That all actually makes sense. I get that there's a joke coming. They're making fun of it and they're feeling overwhelmed because I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed.
Yeah,
but simultaneously, the other part of my brain was going, no, but all of that tracks. That all actually makes sense. If you did all those things, it would actually improve your life.
But then you don't have to do all of them. You can also do some of them.
You have to do all of them 48 hours a day.
Absolutely.
अटेंडेंस ले रहे हैं, ज्ञान पढ़ रहे थे या देसी ढाबे का मेन्यू.
Forget all of them.
थोड़ी सांस भी ले लो. ये प्लेन में होते तो ऑक्सीजन मास्क गिर गया होता अब तक. हवा का दबाव
I like his energy.
इतना देख लिया है ना मोटिवेशन कि अब लगता है कि हम भी मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर्स बन सकते हैं.
All right. Show me. Oh, the lights, love.
मैं सोता नहीं. मैं लास्ट कब सो के उठा? 4 बजे 1984 में माँ के कोख से.
ये भी सो रहा है क्लियरली.
साजिश है ये, फोटोशॉप है. बिलियनर सोते ही नहीं. एक दिन में 10 साल वाले काम करें, अभी उग के फल दें.
बहुत जलन हो रही है यार पेट में.
इस अंदर की आग से सक्सेस के दिए को जलाओ और
एसिडिटी है गवार.
आलसी ना बने, अभी फल दो. मुझे अभी आम खाना है.
मनी प्लांट है गवार.
तो पैसा दे. उठो उठो चलो. 2:35 हो गए. सक्सेस की ट्रेन छूट जाएगी. चलो.
सुबह के 9 बज रहे और इसकी हालत देखो. सो गए थे क्या सर?
अरे नहीं सोना. वो क्या, ये तो शवासन था यार. मेडिटेशन. इट्स गुड फॉर माइंड. I'm fresh. बहुत फ्रेश. अभी इसी वक्त आलस इज नॉट एन ऑप्शन. बहाने नहीं चलते यहाँ. मैं इतना पॉजिटिव हूँ, मेरा हर रिजल्ट पॉजिटिव आता है. कोविड, HIV, प्रेगनेंसी, सब पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड से कुछ नामुमकिन नहीं.
भैया टाइम क्या हो रहा है?
मेरे घड़ी में 29:75 मिनट्स.
एलियन है क्या? काम कर ले, 2 पैसा कमा के ले आ घर में.
पॉजिटिव ओनली.
Ow.
किसी किसी को हर्ट करने से पहले 100 बार सोच लेना। और सब मुझसे पूछते कि व्हाट इज द की टू सक्सेस। भैया की टू सक्सेस बना दो। की टू सक्सेस मेरा बाप भी मुझसे सीखता है, क्योंकि मैं उनकी सबसे बड़ी गलती और अपने गलतियों से ही तो सीखते हैं। Will you motivate me for life?
एक सेकेंड, रोज 2:30 बजे उठ के सुबह तेरे लिए ब्रेकफास्ट बनाना पड़ेगा। Rejected.
Why is he in his underwear?
Is the first step to success, guys.
If you increase number of failures,
मैं 30 घंटे के दिन में 120 घंटे काम करता हूँ। जॉगिंग करते करते ही हल्का हो लेता हूँ और किताब पढ़ते पढ़ते सैलेड खाता हूँ नहाते हुए, और ये सब इम्पोर्टेंट मीटिंग्स के दौरान, क्योंकि
एक दिन में 24 घंटे नहीं होते।
गुजर गए।
Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened.
तेरी माँ का घुट्टी
मैंने बस गूगल से छाप दिया था यार। भाई मोटिवेशन बहुत लोगों को हेल्प करता है, और जब मार्केट में इतनी वैरायटी हो, वो भी इतने गंद की, तो बहुत सोच समझ के एडवाइस लेनी पड़ेगी अब।
That is it for today, guys.
That's actually really good advice.
रोज आपको 2:30 बजे उठाना शुरू कर दे, तो सब्सक्राइब जरूर करना, वीडियो को लाइक करो, एंड we'll see you guys in the next one.
चल अभी 26 घंटे वाले काम करते हैं।
नहीं यार, परसों का ही नहीं किया है अभी तक वो। डॉक्टर्स के हिसाब से रोज रात को 7 से 8 घंटे की नींद बहुत जरूरी होती है हेल्थ के लिए, जीने के लिए।
इसीलिए डॉक्टर कभी सक्सेसफुल नहीं होगा।
डॉक्टर ज्यादा कमाता है।
मैं आता हूँ, ठीक है?
सोले थोड़ा।
I feel like, yes, while motivation and productivity is really important, there's a lot of stuff out there like on Instagram or whatever social media you're on, which is all about like, oh yeah, I gotta be productive, and like, oh yeah, I gotta wake up at like 4:30 and like do all the things, blah, 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 blah. And if you're not doing all these things, then you won't be successful. Conversely, I just want you guys to also listen to yourselves, listen to your bodies, and take care of yourself when you need the time to rest and to pause, because that's equally important.
I think that of all the ones they showed us, my favorite was still the guy who was listing off in a very anxiety-inducing way. I think that everything he was saying was actually the most helpful. It's like, okay, keep a journal. Like, because a lot of motivational speakers actually talk about keeping a journal.
Journals are very good.
Yeah. Anthony Robbins actually said, like, if your life is worth living, it's worth writing down. And so it actually helps you to reflect on your activity and consider what you're doing with your time. So many of us give up our time to a lot of random things, whether it's like social media apps or playing video games or, you know, hanging out with people that we maybe shouldn't. I don't know. It could be anything. If we write down what we're doing, we think more about that, we're more considerate of how we use that time, which is our most important commodity.
Well, not only that, like not just using the journal as a log of what you're doing with your time, but it can also be a very useful thing when you look back. You might be able to see certain patterns that have been happening, you know, and you can be like, oh, I got upset with this person so many times over a certain amount of time. Maybe I should reevaluate this relationship or how I'm approaching this relationship.
Why are you reading my journal, Achara? Chara's reading what I say about her.
Why are you reading my journal? Jeez.
That's a terrible comeback. That's the worst comeback ever.
I never said I was good at them.
That was so
Failure
shit.
first, everyone. One of these days I'll
Emotional
get it right.
damage. I think the biggest key to success is just doing.
Yeah.
Like, and repeatedly doing. Like, because he was talking, one of the guys was saying, you know, more failure equals success at some point. There is truth in that. It's just the way they go about espousing this stuff is confusing.
Yeah.
And it's not really quite clear what they're saying and can mislead you. What Abudaya, how do you say his name?
Yeah, I think you got it right.
Okay, I don't want
Abudaya?
I don't want to mispronounce his name. What he was saying at the end about you have to be careful about the advice you take. It's like there's a lot of truth in that too, because so many people put these things out there on the internet. You don't know how that's actually going to affect people and their actions. How do you guide people to decide on what is the right motivation, you know?
That's something that is deeply personal and
Right.
everyone has to find out for themselves. And so, yeah, I'm sure that all of these people have their own audience, but it is alarming sometimes when people are just putting across really bad information and you're like, somewhere out there are people who fully subscribe to this.
Well, the most popular one, I think, recently, you know, it's up to you whether you think he's bad or good, is Andrew Tate. He's been like kind of scrubbed off the internet, it seems like. I'm not going anywhere with that. That's the end of that thought. Because what he's saying, like, I don't actually know how to I don't know how to add on to what he said about being careful. It's like, what does that mean though? How do you know what is good and what is bad? And I think that the easiest way to identify it is you just think about what you want to improve in your life, what you want to make better. Just make a plan, an actionable plan. I saw a long time ago this, I understand that we're supposed to be reviewing SLAYPoint's video, but to me, this just inspires conversation about motivation. So one of ACHARA's favorite things is The Secret, and I think The Secret is bullshit. So there was this science talk that I was watching. They talked about The Secret. Their response to The Secret was the best way towards success is you think about like the large goal that you want, and then you break it down into a lot of mini goals.
Sure, yeah.
That's it. And like you just try to attack each of those mini goals until you get to the big goal. And it's that simple. And it's like, okay, so you can't get to that step over here until you've done this step right here. Once you've completed this one, you can get to that one, and then so on and so forth. And then before you know it, you're at the top of Mount Everest.
Right, just because you put it out there and you do the work mentally, I guess, to be like, oh, I'm ready to receive this and I'm putting this out in the universe that I want this to happen. That's not the only thing you have to do. You still have to take the steps in order to achieve it.
Now, regarding the thing about failure, is that so many people don't ever take the first step because they're so afraid of failing.
Exactly.
They think that the first thing they do out the gate has to be perfect. You know, at one point, I wasn't really putting out many YouTube videos because I was like, oh, every YouTube video has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And then I saw my brother at that same moment had like 500 YouTube videos. And I was thinking to myself in that moment, I'm like, well, he clearly does not give a shit about whether it's like good or bad quality. It's like he's just getting the videos out there. Not to say anything negative about my brother's videos, because his videos are actually quite funny and quite good. But the thing is, he's not so much concerned with having a perfect video as he is with getting the video out.
I think it might also be because of how we're raised as well, and maybe more so to do with maybe being Asian or something, where like I was always very afraid of not being perfect, of getting things wrong. I think a lot of that came from my Asian side, because there is this kind of like, oh, why didn't you get an A?
Yeah.
You know, why aren't you doing better? It feels like there is no room for failure, because if you fail, then it's the worst thing ever.
Sure.
Whereas like my dad was always saying, oh, it's not a mistake, it's a learning step. So for him, his approach was you learn from your failures so that you can kind of use that as a stepping stone. So it's just kind of changing the paradigm a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I guess when it comes to creative endeavors, the simple way to put it is stop being so precious about it. When it comes to asking, out, well, presumably like a guy asking out a girl, because that's more often the situation. Don't put them on a pedestal. As cool as you think they are, they're just a person that, shits and pisses at the end of the day. And so just like anybody else. And so you might as well just pretend that they're on your level, because at the end of the day, they are, and talk to them as such. And you might actually command more respect for it. And if you fail, then cool, just move on to the next person. And that failure actually helps you to deal with the fear of failure a lot better, just by forcing yourself into the waters that you're afraid to swim in. And eventually you succeed. I thought this was a good video to highlight some of the crazy stuff that's out there.
Yeah.
Because so many people think that they're qualified to motivate others. At one point, I thought I was that person, because I would write poems with that in mind. Later on, I'm like, who the fuck am I? Like, why should this motivate anybody? It's silly. I think that a lot of these motivational clips or whatever, rarely do they actually move the needle for people. Rarely do people actually have a life-changing experience as a result of seeing that particular clip or that quote.
Sure.
At the end of the day, the thing that will change your life is planning and executing the plan.
Yeah, just do it.
Planning and executing the plan. Whether you are journaling or meditating or whatever, planning and executing the plan. Whether you fail or not, plan and execute the plan. And then adjust the plan from there.
Just take small steps.
Yeah.
One at a time.
Plan, execute the plan. If there's something that goes awry, adjust the plan and execute again. It's that simple. Repeat that step, that process, and you have to get somewhere. There's no way you don't. Like, you have to get somewhere.
Sure.
You know? The reason why I was so fixated on that guy who was just like espousing the stuff, like I said, for lack of a better word, it wasn't Hollywoodized. There wasn't any like extra fluff on top of it. You know, when I've listened to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson speak, people put out these like 30-minute videos of him talking and stuff like that.
All right, they have
it's all clipped together, right?
music
And
underneath
it's like music and words and all this
Pictures.
like stock images and stock video and stuff like that. And truth be told, like in the moment, I feel motivated. I'm like, oh wow, like I could do anything. But that doesn't really go anywhere. Once the video's over, I forget about it and I'm on to something else and I'm watching a SLAYY Point video. I'm not really doing anything with that. And so I think what I'm trying to say is you got to be careful with these videos because they will give you the high as if you did something when you didn't do anything at all.
Sure.
Plan, execute the plan. That's it.
Words of motivation.
Yeah. So anyways, you guys, thanks. I'm Jaby KOAY. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.